Hi there, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chattoraj, and today we are drawing a drawing for our moms or those special people in our lives who take care of us. We're going to be drawing a pollinator garden. So step inside my art room and let's get started. Today we are drawing this really special Mother's Day drawing, which is a pollinator garden. It says Happy Mother's Day in honor of Mother's Day. You do not have to draw the Mother's Day part. You can just draw the garden part, and I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to do it step by step. If you take part in my Saturday class, we do this earlier today, and this is just going to be a little bit of a quicker breakdown so you can kind of finish up your drawing and follow up your drawing. So I have gridded out this drawing that I had previously drawn, which we're going to copy onto this page right here. And this is a little bit of a bigger piece of drawing paper. So I'm going to hold this page over here and I'm going to have this over here. Now I'm not going to copy it exactly, but I'm going to copy it sort of exactly. If you notice that on my page, I have kind of mapped out where I'm going to want flowers to go. It's very lightly, so you can kind of see where I want things to go. And I'm just going to start really quickly and get right into it. I did change the position of this line right here to make it a little bit more closer down on the page. I do technically recommend gridding out your page. So I take a ruler and I go down one way and then across the other way. And I also did the same thing on the top of the page here for the Mother's Day header. And if you want to do that, feel free to do that too. I'm just going to do it again. I'm just going to put a line here, and you can make this line however you want, if you want it to be big or small or whatever. These are guidelines, so they will be erased in the end. Excellent. So I look at drawing as a meditative experience. So as we draw, you know, I kind of will get into the zone, and I'm going to sketch this all out. I've kind of laid it out already. And feel free to pause and go back at any time during the course of the drawing and to kind of see where you're at. So I'm going to start right in here in the middle, and I've pretty much put a little bit of a guideline in here, right in the middle, right here for this flower, and then right in the middle over here for this flower. So it kind of looks like a smiley face. Like that. So I'm drawing very lightly right now, and I'm just putting in these marks right here, and I'll kind of, as I get more into it, I will, I'll draw a little bit darker. But the first shape I'm going to make, here's my guideline right here, middle of my page, about 3 fingers, 2.5 fingers up from the middle of my page right here. I'm going to make this shape that looks like this. So it comes down and around, and then it comes up and over. And then it wraps around like this. So in my thought process in drawing this drawing earlier in my class was that I'm going to try to simplify the shapes so you all at home can simplify the shapes. And then this comes around and down. And so the back part of this flower leaf structure comes over like this, and then up and around like that. And they necessarily do not connect right here. I'm going to leave that open. So from this area right here, I'm then going to put a spot for a leaf here. And then my stem is going to come up and come over like this. And as I draw, I'm going to think about later on how I'm going to go in and clean up my drawing. So and this goes like this. So it's just going to kind of be a process. So this comes up like that. And then we're going to have a flower right over in here. And then I have a stem, a leaf right here, this leaf shape right here. And on this other side, I have a leaf shape right here. And then a stem right here. And a stem right here. So sometimes where we plan to lay things out aren't always exactly where we think they're going to be. So here's a shape right here. This is just where I'm laying it out. So right off of this leaf shape right here, I'm going to draw this line up like this, connected to an oval that looks like that. And then connected to this oval right here is going to be an organic shape that comes up and around and over like this. And then connected to this stem right here, I'm going to have a shape that looks like this. Connected to kind of a heart shape. Comes down like this, over and around like that. And there's a little shape like that on the back of it. So my next flower, which I'm drawing, is right here. This is going to go right in here. So this is going to come up and around like this. And then right off of this shape, I'm going to think about this as a heart with a oval in the middle that looks like that. And is it exact? Kind of looks like a butterfly. No, it's not. It looks like that. So this is little, but I'm just kind of mapping it out and kind of going with the flow. There's a petal here, and there's a petal over here. So we have that. And then right in here, I'm going to have I'm going to draw this flower, the middle of this flower, which is going to be kind of in here. And it's not going to be completely circular. It's going to look something like that. It's going to have a circle in the middle. And then the petals are going to come up like this. and around. So when you go to color in your flower drawing, you can use watercolor, you can use pencil, you can use crayon, you can use markers, whatever you want. And there's a little space right there. I like to think that there's a lot of room for artistic license with these drawings. You can kind of make them your own, have fun with it, make them special, etc. Okay, so there is our first little cluster of flowers. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little stem on this guy like this, right? And then I am going to come over here to this area, and I am going to draw this flower in here. And I'm probably going to start right about right here. And I'm going to make this kind of a shape and this kind of a shape. And that's going to be the middle of my flower. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's what it is. And then right in the middle here, there's kind of an organic shape that looks like that. And off of this flower, I'm just going to make a light kind of sketch line. I'm going to sketch out where I want my flowers to go. So inside this halo area, and it's a little bit bigger than this, and it necessarily doesn't have to fit this whole area. I'm just kind of roughly sketching it out. And then this is where I am going to put all of my leaves. Starting with the first leaf. And leaves are very organic. The petals of the flower. And I'm going to take a little bit of time to try to observe the best that I can the different shapes. That I've previously drawn over here in my other drawing, but I'm not going to be particularly, I'm not going to say I don't care, because I do care, but I'm just going to take my time and put in what I see in a very general way as I move through my drawing. And so as you notice, as I'm drawing, that's, I think, what I love about flowers is that they lend you to have such freedom in shape. And they are so delicate. And seeing flowers are something that evolves over time, right? And it's a very kind of special, specific thing that comes up and around and over. So the beauty of these videos, opposed to my live classes, is that you can stop the video and go back and kind of watch again. and see how so that flower right there, it goes to that flower right there. And yes, it is a little different, but that's okay. Then I'm going to move down right in here. I have a spiky flower that looks like this. Starts like that. And then it just kind of continues in a circle. As it moves around this circular shape. In real life, and you have to forgive me, I don't know the name of this flower off the top of my head, but it has these, the petals almost look like spikes, but they're not. There are these series of triangular shapes. And it's, you know, it's very pretty to look at. And this one comes up. Around and over and over. It's actually pretty simple. It looks more complicated than it is. But it's great because you can color it in and you can make it all different colors. These shapes. I'm going to put one right here too. You can make it all different colors. And it's very organic and bright and fun to look at. So from here, right down here, I'm going to draw this flower. And I'm going to make kind of a dome shape that looks like this. And this is like an echinacea flower. And these little circles in here are where the there'd be a color change. And so this flower comes out like this. And then over here, the petals are going to kind of come down in a very fun, I'm going to say flower power kind of way. Forgot about the term flower power. But I think of these kind of flowers as if in a very childlike way, like what do you think a flower looks like? I mean, I'm not looking at a real flower. I'm just kind of looking at this flower, but what does it look like? What does it feel like, right? I know that it's pink in real life. And so after I've sketched all of this in, I then go back and I ink it. So I clean it up, right? So before I draw this guy, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw this much smaller version of that flower over there. So I'm going to start with this shape right here. And then this is going to slightly overlap, but that's okay. I want it to overlap. And these, I was going to say wings, these petals are kind of square. These go down. And up. And then they kind of become a little squarer, which is not a word, but rectangle flowers. And this comes out and over, down. And again, these are your flowers, so you draw them and color them in and design them however you want. I like to think of it as like you're taking a little bit of information from me. It's like a transfer of energy, right? And then I'm giving it to you and you're giving it to me. I know I'm avoiding that. Before I draw that flower, I'm going to draw this flower down here. And this flower kind of lives in a cup. So this cup is a stem there. And there's a stem there. There's a stem with a little leaf there, which you can't really see. There's a stem with a little leaf there. Now down here, I'm going to put this shape that looks like this. And then I'm going to give it a little stem. Now the back end of this flower is going to be rectangle, like that. And the front end is going to be like this. And then this is going to wrap around like this. Like that. And there's some little kind of petals in there. And then this is going to come up over here and down like that. So there we have that flower. And then over here, I'm going to put in my big circle like that for my bee. And this kind of goes off the page a little bit. You can design it or draw it so it doesn't. I'm just going to keep drawing like this. And this comes down and around. What I love about these sunflower shaped flowers is that they have very specific shapes. And so I'm just kind of fanning out where I want my flowers to go. Just keep in mind that it's very simple. And if you just follow it, your intuitive shape kind of becomes a very kind of meditative process. So inside this flower right here, I have a bee. Now I am going to move my paper a little bit like this, so you can see. So my bee is going to be in the middle here, and he's got a kind of a square head like that. And then his wings are going to flail off the center. Bees are very important. They make honey and they pollinate the plants. They're very important creatures. I've always admired beekeepers and all of that. People that support the bee community, keep that going. It's a very important skill. So there's that bee, he's right in there. Now you don't have to put that bee in there, but to me, he's a part of the drawing. So then I am now going to move up to my lily. And my lily is going to start, I'm going to turn my paper a little bit. So maybe I'll just move my chair. So it's easier for me to draw if I move my paper a little bit like this. So this first flower petal is going to come in here. And it's going to go up and around like this. I actually love lilies. Lilies are one of my favorite flowers. And this comes out and around. And then this petal comes down like that. I love the way lilies smell. And then this comes down and around like this. And then this comes up and over. And then in here, there's going to be a line like this. It's going to come around like this and over. And that's the back end of the curl of this lily petal. It's going to come in here like this. And when I ink this, it'll get cleaned up like this. And then right here in the middle, this is going to come up like that and point and come around. And then from right about right here to right here, I'm going to come up and over and around. And then this is going to loop around like that. And then on this back end, this will come down like that. And I am going to move this down a little bit. So this whole thing will curve around like this. There's always room to erase, to make things better, to find your shapes so they make more sense to you. That's all that matters. You're your most important critic, and you're a part of the best audience. And then right up in here, I'm going to put a dot there. And then I'm going to carry this around like that. And then the biggest part of lily flowers are petal back there. And there's also a little leaf right here, are the pistons. And they kind of look like kidneys. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put those in like that. And there we have our first lily. Now our second lily is going to come over here. And this is going to start right in here. Just going to make a shape like this. So this is the first shape right in here. As a back leaf. And then the second shape is going to be right in here. That's going to look like that. And then the third shape is going to be right over here. This lily is a little different, and then I've exaggerated it a little bit. And then this shape comes up. So he comes up, over, and around. I feel like drawing's a lot like life. We're always kind of adjusting for different parts of our life, making room to grow and understand different things. And then right back here, this comes around, this kind of curls around. I kind of squished this one in, but that's okay. Back there. And then what makes this pollinator this special are the pistons again. So let's not forget that we have these great lily shapes. So right here, that comes up like that. There, there, and then the back end of our flower. So we're making huge progress with our flowers for our Mother's Day drawing. Over here, this cosmos flower, right about in here, is going to fill up our whole page. And this flower, I love these flowers because they're usually bright colors. It's going to come up like this. And these kind of like square, very delicate shapes make up kind of what the flowers look like. And so right in here, I have a stem. But I also have a leaf. Now this leaf comes over and over, and it's okay if it cuts off. And then this stem is going to come right about right there. And then right down here, There's going to be a big leaf. So unlike my other drawings, this drawing is much more, it's much more organic. It has much more stuff going on. Um, it's freer, right? I feel like when we're drawing a flower, it's like a free thing, right? It's almost like it has an expression, and that's important. So this comes up and over, and then our petal is round. And if you look at drawing in the form of a meditation, you can then see that things are always kind of evolving and they're changing, and they don't have to be so exact. You're not trying to make a photorealistic copy of what you see. You're just trying to make a record of what you see by looking at the shapes. And I specifically did not measure everything out perfectly like I usually do, because I wanted you to have a very beautiful kind of experience in the flowers. So then this comes down, and these are the little center parts of the flowers. And so there's a stem in here. And then right down in here, kind of nestled away, I'm going to fit in another cosmos up like that. I'll make it a little smaller. So instead of giving mom a drawing, a bouquet of flowers, why don't you draw her one? There, ta-da, we did it. Okay, so we have that part done. Very exciting. We're gonna ink in just a second. I am gonna put my butterflies in over here. So I have a butterfly right here. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. So that shape looks like this. And then he has a little head with antenna. And then this kind of comes up and down. I'm gonna change it a little bit. I'm gonna make it a little bit more pointy. And then the back part of the wing comes down and around like this. Don't forget the little legs. And then right in here, I'm gonna put a little design. That I can put in when I ink in. And then over here, I'm going to put another butterfly. Some wings and some feet. And then this wing is going to come up and wrap around like this. And then his other wing is going to come around like that. I'm not going to put a lot of detail because maybe you'll make it how you want it to be. I'm going to make it like this though. So it's not so realistic. So excellent. Before we ink though, we're going to put in our Happy Mother's Day saying. And I'm just going to move this down. I'm also going to put in the rest of my stem for that plant right there, which goes like that. So I'm going to put this right here so I can see where I want things to go. So I'm not necessarily going to copy that because I want you to feel comfortable making your own letters, right? If I put like an imaginary line of the right through here, this is going to help me write my letters. And so I want to, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Sorry. My imaginary, I am going to turn the paper a little bit because it's easier for me to draw. So up in here, I have my imaginary line, and in here, this is where I want to make my letters. So my M is going to, my Mother's Day, mothers is going to start right here, from right here. Day is going to start from right here to right here. Happy is going to start from right here to right here. And so my O is going to go right about right here like this. And then my T is going to start right about right there. And my H is going to be right about right here. And then I have an E. So I'm just really just using my, I'm really just writing. And then my mother's. So day, it's going to start right about, I'm just slanting that. And the D is big, like that. And here's my A. And here's my Y. Like that. And then my M is going to start right about right here. Like that. I like that. And then my Y is going to be right about right over here. So rather than doing it backwards, because I think that's harder, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start with my H. Which looks like that. And then my A. And then my P. And then my P. And then my Y. But I want to keep that consistent with that, so I'm going to go like that. So I'm going to leave that like that. I could balloon them out, but I'm going to leave that like that. Now my drawing's complete. I'm going to raise my screen a little bit, and I am going to start inking my drawing so we can erase it and color it in. I'm going to be using a couple of different things to ink today. I'm going to use this 0.8 micron pen, and I have some of these brush pens, which I'm very fond of. This one, and then I'm going to be using a Sharpie. So I'm going to start in with the inking with the micron pen. This is kind of like a Sharpie thickness. And I'm just going to start with very thin lines to kind of get myself warmed up. And the advantage of inking is that once you ink, you can erase all of your lines. So if you made any big mistakes, this is where you kind of fine tune it. Now, I highly recommend moving your paper so everything works in your advantage. Like so. That way, it'll be really easy for you to follow the lines that you created. It really cleans things up. Now, if you want to clean up your lines and not color in or ink and not erase or do whatever. I know I say that a lot, but I really want people to know that take my classes that my intentions are not for you to copy me. My intentions are for you to kind of do what I show you in a way that you can translate it into your own special thing. Because we're all special people, and we all have gifts, and we all see things differently. My way of seeing an artistic vision is different than the way you see, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just a translation. The reason why I choose to copy things and to draw things in this way is because it's really brain training, and it helps when you're sketching from life or you're doing your own drawings, creating your own paintings. It's kind of like exercising your brain, working out in the gym, getting familiar with materials. It's a meditation. It's so many different things all built into one. And the favorite part of my classes is this inking and seeing the finished product. So I am going to pause, and then I'm going to come back, and you're going to be able to see what it looks like completely inked. Okay, so as you can see, I have put in a lot of my lines, and I'm ready to erase, which is so exciting. I sometimes like to play around with it with other pens to kind of give things a little bit more of a illustrative quality. I know that this pen right here that I'm drawing with, once it probably won't last very long. That's okay. So I am ready to see what my drawing will look like erased. So I am going to use one of my erasers, handy, right here. And I am going to start on the bottom and go up. And as you can see, all of my lines, my messy lines are going to go away. So I'm just going to erase this and I'll be right back. So here's today's finished drawing. I went back in with my ink pen and I erased all of my lines, and I absolutely love it. And I'm ready to color it in. I used two different pens. I used a micron pen and a brush pen, and I love it. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like colored in. I do not color in with you. I let you do that yourself, or you could just leave it like this. And if you'd like, I love to see people's finished works. Please like and subscribe, leave your comment. Also, you can email me suggestions or put them right here on the page, info@futurepicassos.com, www.futurepicassos.com. And just remember that, like, Mother's Day is supposed to really be, I think Mother's Day is every day. We should always honor our moms and take care of our moms. Or if you're not, if you think about this and you want to give it to somebody who is not your mom but is special in your life, that's okay too. You could even write happy birthday up there, or thank you, or you don't have to write anything up there. You can just do it as a drawing. Thank you for drawing with me today, and I had such a great time, and I hope you enjoy this drawing as much as I have. And stay tuned, because I am going to be releasing a very, very cool Pollinator Garden coloring scroll, which is a little bit of this, but so much more, where you can color in a very large scale drawing that I did of a pollinator garden with lots of cool stuff. I look forward to seeing you again. I do have live classes 3 times a week. Those can be found on my website, and one of them is free. I hope to make all of them free soon for everybody. And thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Bye.